Okay, so we all got a little excited when we saw that Ganso was in the starting lineup for Fluminense.
It was this prodigy, absolutely incredible talent with his left foot, old school number 10 if you want, a la Riquelme for example.
Yeah, I mean Ganso is a wizard on the ball. Well, a left foot is an absolute one.
Okay, let's move on to our defender now, Joaquin Piqueres, a 26-year-old left back for Palmeiras. His market value, other market values are available, but the one that we found for him, about 9.6.
Little gems that they can find, and I think he's 26 years old, it's perfect for him to come to Europe.
Seen how competitive South American teams have been. Sticking with Palmeiras then, into our centre midfielder, we all love this player, Richard Rios.
Olá pessoal, já estamos com mais um vídeo no canal e dessa vez para falar da mídia inglesa falando dos times do Brasil, dessa vez do Fluminense e do Palmeiras.
Bom pessoal, para quem não me conhece, meu nome é César, eu sou argentino e vou estar trazendo para vocês informações como que o pessoal está reagindo aí, questões seleção brasileira e futebol brasileiro. Qual é a sua opinião? Deixa seu comentário e bora ver.
So, on paper, this was going to be a straightforward affair for Fluminense in this next game, but in practice, it was anything but. Okay, let's have a look at this. A stunning free kick from Arias. We're going to dive deep on this one in just a sec. They took the lead. Fluminense overall dominated, but it was with the first goal, and it was their first shot, Olsen HD. And then a shock was on the cards. Lee, with this diving header, did brilliantly there. Kind of made that decision, I'm heading this, even though he probably could have volleyed it. And they were in the lead. And Fluminense were panicking for a second. They did have a lot of the ball, and they were looking to get those crosses in. And sooner or later, it felt like it was going to kind of come to be. And maybe the fans played a part in this one, Leas. They were there out in force. You can see them there, can't you?
Definitely. I mean, I think Fluminense at times are really, really good. There was a little bit of a stutter at times because Olsen really kind of put some pressure. But I think the substitutes were a massive, massive difference maker in this game, specifically from Fluminense's point of view.
Absolutely. So you can see they're very happy there. Freitas, you had a bit of an altercation with Thiago Silva a little bit earlier. They weren't happy with the defending. And then in the final minutes, Keno with the header.
He was brilliant.
Lovely little header in the corner there. It came on and made a huge difference. We'll talk about that in just a second. Right, let's have a look at the group then. Of course, we've got one game left. We're all Mamelodi, aren't we? Nah, who knows? Borussia Dortmund will play also in HD and Mamelodi Sundowns against Fluminense. A huge game, as you can see. Fluminense 4 points, Dortmund 4 points, Sundowns with 3, and also in HD, sadly, pointless in the group. Okay, so we all got a little excited when we saw that Ganso was in the starting lineup for Fluminense. And let's tell people about Ganso. We sort of spoke about Beleli yesterday and the story of him. Another character, Ganso.
Yeah, absolutely. He's 35 years old now, so most of his career is behind him, really. But if you go back almost 20 years back, in Brazil, he was this prodigy, absolutely incredible talent with his left foot, old school number 10 if you want, a la Riquelme for example, a bit slow, but technically so gifted, made his debut very young for Santos, kind of at the same time as Neymar, although he's 3 years older, then moved to Sao Paulo, and then obviously, as many of them, comes to Europe, and Europe just never really, I think, understood his game. He came to France for a little bit as well after Sevilla, but went back home, and he's in South America. He's a legend of the game because of the way he plays, but he's just never had that breakthrough in Europe, really.
He's my kind of player. Tell me about him as a player, as we see some of the good bits and then some of the problems that can maybe come with Ganso. He actually only lasted 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Ganso is a wizard on the ball. Well, a left foot is an absolute one, and you saw it at times. Look at the way he just takes that down. Like, bam, nothing.
String.
Strikes it, and then plays not over. Falls to him. Most players, I don't know, maybe they take a touch. No, bam. Oh my goodness. Ganso's got a left foot it's a one, man. And he is, again, similar to Beleli, a player that can just create moments of magic. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
He sees the game before kind of anyone else, but he loves to play one touch, doesn't he?
100%. Yeah. He's very direct. He plays at a different speed to everybody else. And maybe this is kind of the problem, because at times you almost feel he's on a different wavelength to everybody. Is this the right decision here? It might be. Honestly, it wasn't the worst idea. And when you look at how high up the pitch as well, too, Fluminense should probably defend a little bit better. But I think the one thing of Ganso as well, too, is at times you do feel like it becomes the Ganso show. It's all really about him. It's all focused on him. And the decision to take him off at halftime, I think, is a big one from the manager, because if it doesn't go well, question marks at him.
Absolutely, a huge decision. And of course, Ulsan did go in the lead at some point, but there was a goal first, and it was from Arias, who we spoke about on the press after Fluminense's first game, discussing how he wasn't that great from range. we might have got that wrong. And this free kick is really, really unique. You can see there how far he bends away. It's so unique because, look, very little follow through there, but he has to lean away as much as he does so that he can keep the ball down. I've never seen anything like this, really, but keep doing it, Arias, because it's obviously working for you. And the fans, of course, went wild. And we've had some good free kicks over the last few days, but to see the difference between the two, these, again, it's one where players are allowed to figure it out the way they want to figure it out. And Arias was one that maybe it was the opposite this time, wasn't it? The overall play wasn't totally brilliant.
Yeah.
But getting them in the lead with a unique free kick there.
Yeah, pretty amazing, because we all thought Ganso would take it. Yeah. He could have easily been taken by a left footer instead, and we were like, come on, Ganso, yeah, this is it. And then he scored a lot, and instead it was Arias with this very unique technique. As we said, we saw Messi the other night in a similar position, left-footed, taking it completely differently.
So here's Arias leaning back and do it here. Okay, let's move on to our defender now, Joaquin Piqueres, a 26-year-old left-back for Palmeiras. His market value, other market values are available, but the one that we found for him, about 9.6 million. Jules, you've been really, really impressed by his ability on that left-hand side.
Yeah, he came back he had an injury at the start of the season, the first half of the season, but has come back really, really strong. Uruguayan international now, so he can play left back, left wing back, also centre back. He's got that quality on the ball. He's 6 foot, so he's got the right size. And a club like Bournemouth, who needs defenders because they've lost 3 of their back 4 in Houston, Kerkez and very soon Zabani. I think he's great. Brighton love their South American little gems that they can find, and I think he's 26 years old. It's perfect for him to come to Europe.
Yeah, I really, really like the idea of Piqueres at Bournemouth, because even this season, in my content, I was putting him forward for, putting left backs forward for Bournemouth, because Kerkez is kind of the only left back there. So, I mean, at this stage, I'm going to get linked with Bournemouth when it comes to defenders. So
All 3 of us.
So it's getting ugly there. So they need to sign someone, and he would be a really good option. Maybe be that little bit cheaper than, we're saying Kobel's 35 million. That's a lot less. So maybe there's some bargains. I mean, we've seen how competitive South American teams have been. Sticking with Palmeiras, then, into our centre midfielder. We all love this player, Richard Rios, the Colombian. Liaz, talk to me about this player. What's he like?
He's terrific. He had an amazing Copa America campaign a few years back for Colombia, and I was actually very shocked that he didn't move on. But in terms of being a really good athlete in midfield, being very good on the ball as well, too, has goals in him. I see a lot of potential in him, and I look at a club like Atletico Madrid, who you see some of the midfield profiles. I think Riquelme is probably out the door. Barrios is very good, but very young. De Paul, I'm a big fan of him. And Gallagher is more of a guy who comes in as an impact substitute. I do see potentially a spot for Rios in Atletico Madrid.
Okay, in January linked with Tottenham and Everton. Recently, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, and let's go Madrid as well. 20 caps for Colombia. Market value of 14.6 million. I've been really impressed with him. I think that'd be a fantastic buy. Destined for Europe, Jules has told me. So it's coming, right? And then wide forward position. The big one, Rodrigo, 24 years. Jules, you were saying that there might be someone who might want to move on. Liaz, your team, Manchester United, are linked with him. But if that one doesn't work out, I want to talk about Kobel. Kobel at Dortmund, I think, has been fantastic in this tournament. Has been a bit of a tournament for the goalkeepers, but as a younger goalkeeper, I think he's about 26, 27 at this point. Market value of about 35 million. He made a double save here in the first game against Fluminense that kept them in it. He's been absolutely superb. He's a great shot stopper. Contract's up in 2028. Liaz, how do you feel about this one? Would you have him at Man United?
If he has 2 working hands, I would take him at Man United. Clearly, we're in a situation ever since David De Gea left the club. Onana came in for big money, but I think so far has really flattered to deceive. And I look at Kobel, I completely agree. He is a safe pair of hands in goal. That Champions League run to the final a few years back, I thought he was massive for them. And I even look on the ball as well, too. I was reading the numbers beforehand. In terms of short passes completed, he does rank pretty high in the Bundesliga over the last season. So I think United could probably do worse than looking at Kobel.
Jules, can I just come to you on this one? Because he's little dig there at Onana. Now, you feel it might be a bit, it might be a bit deeper than that when it comes to Onana, of course. Do you think that if Kobel was to go to a team like Manchester United, who do seem to be in the market for a goalkeeper right now, do you think it would be a place that he could thrive, or is it going to be difficult for anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a problem in structure and there's a problem in coaching at United. We saw that under Ten Hag. For Onana to have such a drop in terms of form and performances, it might be him to be.
You think it can't
blamed
just be-
It can't just be on
yeah,
him.
he can't
I'm
disappear.
sorry. The guy was the best goalkeeper in the Champions League in the season where they reached the final with Inter Milan against Man City, and then suddenly he's one of the worst. It can't just be on him. So I think there's a problem. I like Kobol a lot, but I think there's an environment issue there for goalkeepers.
Pessoal, gostaria de mostrar para vocês como eu consegui fazer uma renda extra em 2 semanas trabalhando de casa com um método 100% brasileiro. Veja só.
Esse é meu segundo canal, veja só. Ele já está gerando uma renda de R$3.400 por mês, repercutindo notícias na internet, aplicando o método notícia lucrativa. Só que precisa fazer do jeito certo, claro. Quer entender melhor? Então manda uma mensagem aí, vou deixar meu zap fixado no primeiro comentário, beleza? Abraço!